Today we're going to have a look at an application of the exponential graph, which is looking at finance. It's a really good example of exponential function in real life. When we've got an amount that's increasing rapidly by a percentage of itself, we say it's growing exponentially. Okay, so there's lots of examples of this, but compound interest and inflation are probably the best long-term examples. When we've got our exponential growth, particularly in finance, what you'll notice is that it takes a really, really long time for it to actually look like an exponential graph. What you'll notice is it is quite flat at first because it grows very slowly, but as the percentage, as the amount that the percentage of gets larger, it then starts to grow much quicker. Going the other way, when a quantity is decreasing by a percentage of itself, it's decaying exponentially. So what's happening is it decreases very quickly at first because the percentage is of a larger amount, and then it slows down over time. Having a look at an example that we've been given, we've been told Antonio invested $2,700 for 5 years at 4.5% per annum compounding annually. Now, where it says compounding annually, that's your hint that you need to use the compound interest formula. Now, this formula is found on your reference sheet. So write our compound interest formula as FV is equal to PV outside of 1 plus R all to the power of N. Now, to put that into common sense terms, FV means future value, so what that investment is going to grow into. PV is the present value, how much it currently is or what it starts at, and what the R is the rate expressed as a decimal, and the N is the number of years or the number of terms. So you need to input each of your X values or your years into that equation to get the value of the investment after that many years. So you can think of our X value being the N, and the Y value is going to be your FV. All right. Now we're asked to graph the value of the investment. It's only over a period of 5 years. So as I mentioned earlier, it is going to look quite flat. Now, I haven't made this into a line just so you can kind of see. I feel like if I did a line, it would look very flat. But you can see each year is growing ever so slightly more than the last, okay? It's not going to start to get a real bend in it for quite some time. But you can take the hint from your table of values, your year, because it's the top row, it's the X value, and the value of the investment is the bottom row, so that's the Y value. Okay, so then you're just graphing your table of values, and when you do join that line by hand, make sure it is freehand and not with a ruler.